Good morning. My name is John Loraine, and I'm from Core Resources here in Brisbane. And I'm presenting a session focused on the Northwest Minerals Province. And I would like firstly to thank Trade Investment Queensland for inviting me to give this session. And it's really about the great story of the Northwest Minerals Province and some of the things that are going on there that I think are important and create lots of opportunity in the future there. Part of the background to this is that the Queensland government has recognised the importance of the Northwest Minerals Province. We'll look at that in a minute. And there's been a number of things done by the government to help investment in the region. And some of you may be aware of this. There is the very substantial Strategic Resources Exploration Program, which has been running for the last 3 years, and initiatives last year to develop and focus on new economy minerals in the region where there's high prospectivity. And then also very recent, very important news with the Queensland government putting money into progressing and accelerating the development of copper stream, which will bring grid power into Mount Isa region. And that's really important for the competitiveness of the region, and a terrific initiative, which we applaud. Just, I know that some of you will know the region well, some not so well. For a remote region, it's very remarkable. It's remarkable for its mineral endowment. Also for a remote region, it's actually got amazing infrastructure, some of which has been there for a long time, some of which has been developed more recently. So you have utilities infrastructure, including water, rail, export ports, regional electricity distribution, gas pipelines, and there's also major mineral processing infrastructure like smelting and copper and zinc refining, all within the region. So it makes it really very remarkable. But there's a big challenge in the region, and that is that it's had a very long history of discovery and major mineral development. But the last great boom was really in the 1990s, when 3 or 4 world-class mines were developed at the same time. And there's really been a lack of sort of major discovery and development since then. And that really reflects the challenge of exploration undercover. So there's been a bit of a technical barrier around the whole issue of exploration undercover. But that's an area where, I think technology is catching up. There's been a lot of work done into developing techniques and technologies for exploring undercover, some in the research field, some, in exploration practitioners. And it has been helped and focused by the Northwest Minerals Province Strategic Minerals Discovery Program that I spoke about earlier, really focusing on the whole challenge of exploration undercover. One of the things to note is, this is clearly having an effect, the sort of global significance of the mineral province. And we're now seeing a situation where major companies are coming in and taking up ground, and in many cases looking at the exploration undercover challenge. What is very, very noticeable, and it's really the challenge and the opportunity, is that there are multiple tier 1 large mineral deposits where there's outcrop or shallow cover, and there's very little has been found or developed once you start to dive undercover, and 60% of the region is under more than 50 meters of cover. And the underlying geology is unchanged under lake cover. So there is a really appetizing, interesting challenge of getting under that cover and looking for opportunities there. It is a region of absolutely tier 1 mineral potential of global significance. It's one of the best areas in the world for potential large-scale mineral development in a safe, stable, mining-friendly environment with great infrastructure and good geology. So, I think every global company with aspiration should be keeping this in mind and looking at it as a target. There's some amazing potential that's already been developed. and or rather identified. So without sort of going into case by case, there's something like $30 billion of contained metal value in already identified pre-development projects in multiple minerals, and I've set some of them out here. Some of these slides are a bit busy, and they're probably worth looking at a bit more detail, and we will make copies of this presentation available to those that are interested later. But there's quite a lineup of projects that are looking at future development. One of the other interesting things about the region is the endowment of tailings. And there are a number of major tailings resources, some of them with clearly economic value. And one of the anecdotes of the region is that the second biggest mineral in situ mineral resource is the Mount Isa tailings, which have got over $30 billion worth of contained metal value. They're quite complex. There'll be some technical challenges there, but that represents a clear opportunity for the future. New Century Mining is leading the way and retreating the Century tailings on a commercial basis, and some of the other tailings present good opportunities too. So and that is clearly a subject of interest to the Queensland government as well in assisting the reprocessing of tailings in the region. One of the really important things I mentioned earlier was if there was one sort of drawback in the region, it was the relatively high cost of power and restricted availability of power. That will be significantly addressed by developing the Copper String project, which is currently on track to commence development next year. And that for many projects can actually halve the cost of power. And it has a really immediate impact on some of the projects in the region. One of them, which is very much in the public domain, is the Little Eva project, a significant copper project. And they have recently redone their feasibility study, taking into account an assumed lower power cost from Copper String. And that shows a 57% increase in copper produced, 20% reduction in operating cost, and 3 years extra mine life. So a major prize. And we think lower power costs will bring a number of other projects across the line in terms of feasibility. Power costs can be 25 or 30% of the entire operating cost. So it's a really significant reduction in cost for these projects. So this appeared in the Northwest Star not so long ago, and I think a nice little sort of note to close on. I do, just in sort of reprising a bit, Northwest Minerals Province really is a world-class region. There are some exploration challenges, but the potential's there, and lower power costs will significantly enhance the potential in the region. And some of the other initiatives, such as a focus on new energy minerals, really there's high potential there for a number of important new energy minerals, including cobalt, including vanadium, including graphite, and that they also can be the spur for new projects in the region. So that's it from me. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying the conference, and I'll sign out here. Thank you very much.